enye de bia na obi choose obi over you because on pel. I've learned that in politics. Sometimes it's only because the options are many. And now sebi ebi option be a eda menim no bibinti on na me choose anka on you anka ebi ambema obi fufuro. Let me give you a classical example. Ebia me brother-in-law na hwe school. Na say me oka oya MPP ni sebi onye politics but na kuma wo oya sympathizer. Yes, me sina sister ko. Obi say ye MPP flag bearer race. Na me sister kunu e wo race no mu a. Me ye wo admire crown na me mentor party no mu a because time na sebi me nyo obi anto school for one to medical school fees. Me what some outstanding commitment to him everywhere I meet him in my life. Intimate to Obama, not because me taiwo man to amano, but bibinti. Intimate we 90 as say, so 40% now on one farmer Dr. Baumiano. And you munira no money Dr. Baumiano problem. But ebia bibinti ni option no obet choose another one. That's the first one. Second one so me can say me observe bibia my manager. The other time, first time Dr. Baumiandi alarm honorable alarm koyen. Me here Dr. Baumia. This time, man supporting any camp because of yes, regional. One support. Regional. Oh, Makuma mono. Obia wasum party na wabua party no. Say fana. But one good thing about me is that I always try to look out for the strengths of people, so that I can use it to inspire myself. And anyamia do ma show me na many strengths or more. So anytime you give me any of them, I go with the strengths. Now.
To say Duchum say.
Oh, of course. I mean, Adibakwa me who Dr. Baumian performance. Emma Menijin who pan say. The last time Lejokuku say, and you no winning ye. Honorable Kennedy winning ye. Lejokuku is very the mix is a cosmopolitan community with close to 2,000 delegates. And Etuaba, where about 1,800 Etuaba, 1,800. Now the last time Kennedy Etua Dr. Baumian Kakra. This time, Dr. Baumian had, I think, about 850 votes, and I carried in about 580. Oh, okay. Now, say be 580 and yes, small votes, AB, but 850 no, S1 Obi. Immediately, in Accra, the last time, Dr. Baumian had 19 constituencies out of 34. This time, only 32 out of 34. So, Obi say places be across the country are first, no, or more for man, no. I say. Nipa party for some dream every man say. Now that should tell you say Nipa nkasa ye predictable sir. Ena last me pose be I can say ye assessment no 50% of the delegates omo we GSS and the for say be o ma dream and who told you Obi prempe I did not to friend say airport Kumasi some of the giants of old omo got in a classroom to SS or university but nyansa kasa na dream nyame na edima. Some of them, they were trained in their mind, not through the classroom. Omutina penyasiye, ye the case by Solomon go school. But nyame womunyasa. So the point I'm making is say party delegates and kasa. Oh, me can so illiterate. Bible one call PhD.
A honey PhD ni was so senior there were court.
Good. Anything I can say obit me to know be a no. But the point I'm making is say you can find obi oko up to GSS. Any chance or say or who are there and not to make a decision. So the point I'm making is that for the same party people in Lejokuku, for example, voted majority for Kennedy last time. Within the same album, Omo Kasa to say, oh, Yansisa album, Nintendo, and Nama Baumia win that. Even places where the same album was used, where Dr. Baumia didn't perform like today, things switch to favor. Only assurance, mami. And she say perceptions, but sometimes okay, Tatumia, yet me can never go so obi. Nanse mi ko yebi wo mi constituency. Obi a Dr. Bra, yes you go be bra. It's because once you are on the seat, it's say maybe can easily. But when Ubechi now for the Nippon difference, say but it wasn't like this. Into Obi, ebi mu ka say oh, na on your 56, 40 and 12 and say no, you'll be shocked. Some of the people in the 40% would work harder than those the 56. See, the simple reason be that they didn't vote Minka against. They voted for someone else, but it's not because they have an issue with him. And Obi, Ghana, niema miensa ana enan ema otimi be than president. Your personal strength one. The party strength is the key figure. Look, the last election I call no. Niama eboti ayenti no. Say president mama na enye candidate. Now with all due respect, another big person, the person could have won easily. And the party strength is also key. And then Obi, the third one, yes, of course.
The election.
Oh, me can say.
Me see
2024.
No, also they were fighting against the odds.
2024.
Asad Mahama said, "You be a crowd."
Yeah. Me constituency, me co place. I never mo catch say na form nyakra. And the point I mean say, once you're on the ticket of the NDC, me see President Obama, Sanka you no running on the ticket as a flag bearer for NDC cry. If it had been someone else, the fellow could have still won the election. And you know me, because party strength is also one key factor. And the third one, say be niyama di owo no so waya nkofo buye de efunu. Enti na obi ma tro bi kakra wo your first budget 2017 ye NDC free wa na President Obama na leader of the party no. There were some taxes aye na ebe abolish here. Obi. There was a 1% special import levy. Yetwemu. Now President Obama na previous government dey buy 17.5% VAT NHI on financial services. Obi, you be free because not gonna for complaining. 17.5% on how do you call it? Special imported selected imported medicines. In draw a crowd. You be free 17.5% VAT NHI on domestic airline ticket. Benim say okaya. You be free and also boama ticket say they confirm 5% VAT. When the taxes are NDC buy 5% VAT NHI on real estate. You be free 5%. Special petrol. What point am I trying to make? With all due respect, and President Obama, taxes were introduced. But yeba power yebe free because of events, no. Later, me say some other taxes were into. The point I make is the fact say President Obama supervises taxes da in the political life. Taxes are not gonna fall in jail. That did not condemn him to eternal oblivion in his political life. Time no do you know. Nyankopon de ni back to Jubilee House. Obi. So the good thing about this world is that as long as there is life, there is patience and there is time, only God can tell us what will happen tomorrow. And you know, me because of me be about social politics, me won't say be more gidi about what will happen tomorrow. Me show budi na me say oh we mu nyame mo na mo nsu ade. Because Obi, human beings now who say omo ko to Obama your friend say omo to abatia President Obama 2016 over say 2024 election no be I believe there were many who voted for him but had voted against him before. Intimacy. Look, Dr. Baumia, main country, I'll say only one thing. Where I fell in love with his astuteness, political astuteness, you can't take it away from him, was when he did an analysis of Ghana's economy and said where things are. John Mohammed's government had no option than to run to the IMF. Obi, there was denial from NDC that we will not go. When I heard the announcement that the NDC was subjecting itself to an IMF program, I said, wow, this guy, I have to take a closer look at him. Referring to Dr. Baumia. Obi ultimately analysis based on his skill and knowledge in an area and forecast what will happen. And it is denied by those in the industry. And ultimately it happens. It means the guy is not on your paper weight. Obi tio. Enti me ka when you say oh Obi.
Me kasa kakra bi na stop home me. O mana kasa so check time ni ye. O kwa me be pe
Obi me ka when you know say
aso nsem o keke want to aso. Just when na me hu say MPP for mo no Ghana. Si e ho kira be kire anda Dr. Baumia ne na na do na nsem we na akeka.
We are no wakasa answer me.
What you say Obi da.
Obi so the point I mean say
or forecasting.
Papa no Obia also was some personal strengths and intelligence in areas that involve managing a country. One man krano man Ghana say wa predict say abai we was nano so mo be che mo meko IMF e mo ko duru ho.
Abai
oh NDC party
won and John Mahama.
Yes, which these are all facts. So where facts? Obi, me can we now say so? Obi to me bien and say because there's been economic difficulties under a leader, no, he is condemned to oblivion. No, it cannot be true because right in our history as Ghana, modern history, not 1976, right as recent as 2015-16. Now yeah, Sebi Nipa. It was on Kainu. 2015-2016, Ghana was having a double deficit when it comes to fiscal deficit. Ghana had a deficit when it comes to current account balance. Ghana had a deficit when it comes to fiscal and primary balance. Our growth had sunk from 12% when we discovered oil in 2011 all the way 3.5. The biggest problem in Ghana then was unemployment under John Dramani Mahama. But years down the line,
2011 on the president.
Growth has sunk from 12%.
And almost where?
Yes, Obi, me come now say, look, obviously, if you look at John Mahama too, a lot of things happening, wonderful compared to the one. Obi, and look at you say, Nipa fa demo osua de. Dr. Bawumia sat under Akufo-Addo for 8 years, and I'm happy Akufo-Addo says something. See, this man never Sebi showed disrespect to me once. It doesn't mean he never had a different opinion. Obi, Tio, you can follow a leader and respect the leader, but there are occasions where you show a different opinion. But if the boss is the one who takes the final decision, you respect his decision. But guess what happens? Although who respect his decision, also the issue there for the what? The future. So that Chinebu be a leader, ebi a vice the ukasa, obe kainano. The Okaya Ebia Yamfa I chain approving say and can say forward. But what I say, so Bawumia's unique situation as someone who has served during a period where there were achievements and failures means that there is a lower chance that he will come and repeat the failures when you give him the chance the next time. And John Mahama has proven it that if you have been there before, you can jump instead of walking because you know where the portals are. Obi, and I mean one thing I'm going to conclude say. There are 3 or 4 things that shows whether you come to power. It is the performance of the government as at the time we are going for elections. Number 2, it is the expectations the people had of the government. Your performance can be good, but if their expectations have not been met, they can still vote against you. The promises of your opponent is also key because that will sway some people. And finally, the grace of Allah. Obi, when these things come together, nobody can tell me that it is 100% that it will not favor Dr. Bawumia. And I'm also not saying that Uba Kosu and Aba form changing Dr. Bawumia the president. I am Paiboni Juma and Ochna and a betre.
And Paibon the Ankobi and Nimbopa.
The Juma Kaun
and the Juma Susu Yenimi Obi Oba be advertana.
That meet you.
Obi, a some more king, I am one. Say, Jobaso, a person chair, set time or mobile, dear, not or BBI kama. Dr. His Excellency Mahama first term, a kind of a Juma or year will chrome has say. The kind of in Semanko we count on Hono. I'm an a Juma now, yeah, nef and current me MP. Time His Excellency Mahama $26 to CDSN.
Or code 26 or free or 20.
Yes, $dollar CDSN is the fulcrum of everything that we do. $to CDSN.
Is it 4? 4 is a 5.
Yo, and I almost so free a bemunez.
14.
17. Why 14?
17.
That is the point. 17.
January 17.
Unprecedented in this country.
You are being fair to the facts.
Oh,
as a host of the program.
Me see
the biggest program.
Oh,
country has
2022 more than a call 17.
Me see, so we say so we graph 17 mm.
Oh,
that is
the point.
Me say mm1. Good.
How can say
the point is that so we defeat His Excellency Mahama to after what 8 years. Saying the kodru taxes now I'm sure at the end of the day. And how you see we taxes it should change the lives of people. It should improve the lives of people. Muslim be taxes. We na mo de back door na some de go shame. So ko share taxes a what pot. Oti me be so ha COVID-19 levy, COVID-19 token levy. Ni nyina wo ho. So we say Bawumia etimi forecast about me and forecast so the seed na akoma IGP na ama na to no handcuff sa forecast na cost say seed na break jail seed na break jail ana
announcement graphics so obi break jail announcement is
seed na ko si hene one forecast say seed na nko ba bia wa to no choko de handcuff at gunensa break jail enye forecast na wo kan bi no o forecast is NDC be kwa IMF no so forecast man ho for we fonsa no ahwe ode wa forecast man ho no wan kwa IMF ni bi ene asem na wo kan asem ayi or see the strength of a party in the MPP agina we say our strength the strength no no aka so o ma ye dazed and the way they are dazed the way o ma ye dazed no if they are able to do an election like this yen na o ma say why you
so much very comfortable ana
una ya doctor need a patient we wa go jina ne mpa ho kra na wusu enu bi ne e wo say we a doctor ni anopa patient bi wo wa man drip amani bibia so enkoyi oh jai enti sa One kasa what na say NDC MPP aye dazed okay we say party aye dazed o matimi akọ election
but you saw the word
dazed na matwre adam eboa me ho ka bia me twro we say party na aye dazed in so matimi akọ election can you imagine somebody who is dazed in adam beko we say the strength of the party is from the constituency. Parliament is made up of Ghana omuni percent ewo Nibisao. The strength of the party is made up of the constituency. A honor strength, that is the grassroots of the party. Parliament, how many percent?
88.
That is the point. From where? And from where again? 165.
169.
169, 137. They keep dwindling. The same way Dr. Bawumia is dwindling. And you are saying, by now, no, as a son called Mutimitnasi. No mo catch your who say emra so say ye be den esese ye hwe de ama ono ayi beka ho ayi de amne ni share last week no to Kofi Tonto say arrogance of power we kwado mu ni power arrogance na so ho doctor say inkrofo bi wo ho a wo man to ama ayi ye fe ne sen Dr. Bawumi ombeye campaign ama no bi ti se hwan ya Victoria Duncan Williams ana
Victoria Duncan Williams.
Ni bisa.
No a delegate there.
Onye delegate anko kasa.
Oh, that say ngofo bebre e
campaign. Debi the four kasa no a delegate msa abroche delegates ni bia. On say no lands. Inti SD ono.
US the hot.
Inti ono ya de indicator. Na kire se nkrofo bi wo ho a wo ma anye campaign ama Dr. Bawumi ombeye campaign ama. Otemasi so bi gitumu se ampa magia tuma eno cheso obeye campaign 44% nye number keto 44% yesi empew ono ne de o kana wo kana konta de en entansi nipa 44 si empew we vote so atia kofom me Dr. Bawumi, I'll be very worried. I'll be very, very worried with the results. So ultimately, because atia kofom de obeka bia mfa ubetimi awene we a certain branch and a certain constituency. You have won, but maybe nkrofo anto aba ama. Almost anto aba ama wo opponent no. It maybe you have to go and look at absolute numbers. You can win constituencies, but nkrofo anto aba ama, how can you say you have won? So to them meet. Until the doctor ke kan dey. Mene nya adwen ti wantimi am forecast e hu si ye kwa ye DDP. Wetimi forecast obi party hu IMF. A prophet in your own home, the way hu ade, obi krom na go hu ade. A forecast obi dey na wo dey wantimi am forecast. Into wantimi am forecast ama na do se we ye kwa IMF. Ibisa. So the cabinet. Wantimi am forecast. Utimi forecast mo obi na ntimi forecast ma ho. Obi what you say mo bi da. Ososo kwa government na do se enu nti na mba be fa o. Se wo ye ayi. Economists me menye economists nti na mba fa o. What you say?
Yes.
Ti obi asem ne de no makwa akoyi no. 2028 no for some reason eni akire.
Oh yes.
What you say? Inti ye nyina ye behu di ebesi. O se mpaibo. Ene di enimbo pa. Organization. Eno so de ye ade. Inti ene de Kwame Nkrumah say organize. Yes. Ti ye the organization besi so. Na obi me bam tete o ke cancel bi.
Renaming the na say.
Na there be na wo ka say Kwame Nkrumah was a dictator.
Man kasa me na me ka o.
Okay, ka be bisa say agenda setting.
The me ka ye ne say. Omo so omo ye in support of the name Kotoka International Airport. The omo can say and enra ye din komo we na say wonim Nana Asante bedi etu.
No nzo ne why.
Oh, wonim Nana Asante bedi etu. Former secretary to President Akufo. Nana Asante bedi etu.
Yo.
It ye din komo na ofre ba mu say o wa adwenche person no so de tuja. The omo can say
afede ne ho aton.
I should think when you see the kasa na
okay, the nyamiase.
The na ono can say in Kotoka represented something. What he represented, a freedom and liberty, was at the time na President Nkrumah na oye a veer of the democratic path. Now if you are be autocratic, so a one party state. Into Kotoka represented freedom from autocracy. In his name being there, Ebe Kai or mine say we don't have to go back to an autocratic rule bill. In the name seminar all Canada be mark and namidi busa. They were not my words.
Nana Asante be to time and Kwame Nkrumah or not yase. Yeah, wono. And our history neka. And you been fa folklore nkasa.
Na nya no kre.
Na no kre say him fa no what is say apart from UP4.
Say preventive detention.
The preventive detention at mo book bi me de ba be che no wa kan mu. Wonka wanyempo ankase me besi niema na omo ye wo krom manka njo kobodu sei me na me ni hon papa na ka kire me obo anam so mboa kobodu sei yire no aduane no makodwa ne sekan o ti dem e kire no inti no dem pese musa Nana Asante bedi to that time no wote wa na
na sa wonso na wonni ko
ana se me obi na ka kire me ka se na ayi dictator ba me nim se Kotoka de wo ye ku wanye ku
o ye ku
good into a year cool no
so sa cool can be justified
the wine here then no justify Kwame Nkrumah you be a yetu no at that time why did no parliament why didn't they use parliament and into they say no or ma ba say UP4 no ko na e cassette ya sa dewi so it is so clear say woman na e shet 1966 school nechi the other thing woman ko na etia
and when na wo ba na wo say na de one me
I'm no was empa na Kwame Nkrumah de let me tell you ana so ma aka
reporting what
antibitika nim na fi agenda setting
na be nya me na America
na say lawyer ni say nka aka say it is alleged
I'm doing a reported speech
but I'm saying say when we say UP4 no kwa na o mani abrate name changing ho what did I make a gas state kwa de almost infanto wo mo hene these are all suggestions me say me nyanka infanto Kwame Nkrumah but you see akra obi a wo soje obi anka se otia o just say UP4 no omo na kosoma Kotoka ne nkrofo ne afiri fa ne de keken ka ho mo koye de omo ye ma Kwame Nkrumah dane samantwentwen ma Kwame Nkrumah dane samantwentwen a wontimi amafie awo yare ye cross your person oba beda ne ma me akachem nya ne ba no wu no wo ma ama na ama adenti na omu UP4 nkwa na support say de o ko twra nya masem uni hwe a wo twro o ti ma say because me tie transport minister no the airport is Ghana airport I buy one of the so we see from airport wa utimi hu planes sometimes planes be airlines be won't ni din da ultimately the kind of the kind of people eba sort the image.
Yes.
I mean the airport it says Nancy Mahama see a bona baso for sa airport to cruise see my terminal train. Udru wa
airport to see terminal.
And I make a terminal train so the bia bekan we no ba o the bia bekan ho.
Omo renovate I think terminal.
Enti omo ba so mpe baby see terminal for asase bebrebe egu nkenye.
Kebeboa.
Kemwa. Sanke be di congest airport no.
Yes.
Otimasi o me kwa de bia me suggest say two no aye idle kakrenti nko mo fa Africa
o de offer wa che
sa wo ho okay
na say minister kan so mo ye renovation wo mo nyina the plan ne say
apo mo ye renovation
the plan so o mbe yi
sa na ka me be kan African flyer famra ho oti ase na ha no
minister say o mbe ye connection from terminal 2 to terminal 3 bibia obetimi afem
na so wo president wo vision obi ba betina so 8 years one ne ayi ye friend ne say ne na be die che forecast ne nko enkosi ba bia so wo bi owo vision wo ba ye no wo de niema toto akwan mu se Ghana fo tu kwan krom ho be haro nti se e bi krampa wo connecting flight a okwa amona no connecting flight bo transit wo na mu zone no akwa connecting flight bi ho a wo di train ba bi wo so a wo nante otimase nti won se wo ye de ato adwene ho hwe se kurakwela Bonny Junction nkole ye twetwam amaka abo wo mo a ene ya ye flyover wo ho bridge ankole betimi afa so omupon la Bonny Junction omupon school empanyifo nyina abefa so emrafo te se yetimi yekochekoche ni afa so asifom oti dey make eno ne president odwin nipa ho mo so ya se for
na se flyover there aban
da bi na de that day is akwan nkole twam ne ye bre ne me kwa mitimi si form de nkola ni bi twam timi gina ho so mo so mbetwam so otimase ensususo enne wa ye ayi wo ho ankola ne timi fa so esi form ebia ne se ono abu ni fe ka se omo ba besi a friend say adjoining a year betimi ama say wo flight maybe we si from Ghana wo come maybe Cotonou ana wo ko Benin wo betimi afamu straight nya afa na dim dika wo kuta trolley and no ne say aban a wodwene nipa ho nya de forecast IMF wo wi ana ono aso e wa IMF wantimi am forecast name change na ayeden
the ofuaso
na me foaso say timbecho obi say o di Judas now say obi make asa mamon sere
na me edi
Debbie say obi I na make asa mamon
ene me di Judas na
ayeden obi say o di Judas na hwe say Judas di na moawa yes sa na asesa no
obesesa no
eti ne no ano no
na kotoka di na moa yen for the past 50 years.
When you go for a case kotoka yen na obi anya kokuduro nsesa. Reason na am dia ma yen pedi ni tu di Judas na so mpe Judas awe problem.
Woni hwan na mpedi.
Debi asem we be Ghana for ye CPP for kwa de yen pe hu ye kwa cho letter.
Asa Ghana man na CPP for nkwa.
Ye na ti kro no. Ye cho letter ko ma excellency Rollins atami so bia se nsesa din no. We kwa de yan cho letter. Me letter ni bo ham signature shase. Nti asesen no anu di Judas sense Judas wonye papa na person osese Judas aye bone mi bisaw ana wo de Zacchaeus na person osese udin a we bone be na wo enem change so abeye yi adai wo spirit hyemu ana mi bisaw UP for the asem e dia promise omni kotoka ye enti yesese din e ha wo mu e says lenzi mahama obesese din no ye kobo ye kwosoro ba din ye besesa my airport no so no ye ni ye amemu aye fe ama na ye modern otimasi me ne ma me bi tu kwa me see for mo see we de na do aye airport kama na say excellency mahama na ye no si bue no kana no tum nam so be kwa no atum His Excellency Mahama obey Excellency Mahama obey ye adwuma ntimi I don't see why kotoka din ama ebinum kra asode omo be kasa. There's nothing wrong with the Judas with the Zacchaeus. Now we share Bible mu na hu se nkrofo omu din nye intimesi sa enye bone.
But I say yes sir. So o kind statement na greater Volta Regional Commissioner our serve on the NDP's National Development Planning Commission. What kind of statement?
He
raises some very solid points.
I am saying, say
one of them, they say change of name of an international airport and yet cost free. It comes with a massive cost. Why should we burden the taxpayer with a cost like that? To do what?
Sometimes, no, the wish of the people is so ultimate.
Okay.
A day we are bad. This is not the first time. There are even some foreigners, diaspora, they ask the question, why Kotoka? Nancy, your mom will buy a binom ask when they read the history of Ghana, they find out. Because you see, that coup cut the trajectory of development for this nation. Kwame Nkrumah had a 1957 economic development plan. He had one for 1967. And when you see those two development plans put together, we were moving to economic freedom. And this coup came.
That coup restored democracy.
It didn't restore anything. Let me tell you something. Coup. Meme mame. Meme ye ayi banti meka meka nkrofo se me de me ye. Meme mame. Na ne papa. Eye UP ni panyi pa. Ne protege. Any deku, any kotokai. Ya chi me papa. Me mame koko hu afrifa deku ena kotoka So munya ni kunu ma so omka kire om me maame. Si me maame ye me papa ye member of the Russia Communist Party. Okuta card.
Papa Jan.
Yes, nti obedem wache. Osa ye Kwame Nkrumah veranda, but I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. You before na ma omo ye cool no. If they had, so even if you feel say Kwame Nkrumah was whatever, because maybe what's na ho a check akra. There are ways you do it.
Which other way could they have?
They could have. There was parliament. Whatever there was,
the parliament was almost a CPP only parliament.
Me pacho say parliament MPP for mu ni baby aso so ma no omo kasa.
Omo kasa.
Into person just ni penny ho. But what did that cool be? I don't know man ye cool no almost say ye hufo. I don't know man ye cool no time ayi na Nkrumah okurum.
Omo
chairman ni two kwan. There's a mutu onya musuro no. I didn't know who decided Kwame Nkrumah 1972 wanted to come home. Now on my mama who Ghana because no on Tiapo. Mutimi obi o ye Ghanaian citizen who decided say mo mani makurum ha. What you say mo be that?
Yes.
A Ghanaian citizen, you prevent a Ghanaian citizen from coming to this country just because of what? A time. To the extent to say what MPP for mo by 1st July. That was the Republic Day of Ghana. Mansesano. You took it out of the statute books completely. 1st July. Ghana had freedom 1957. No. Because in 1957 we were still using the flag of the UK. We were still using Omusika. Yes. We were still using their national anthem. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong, bold to defend forever. To resist the oppressor's rule. What you say?
Yes.
To speak fearless honesty was put together on the 1st of July. What you say? 1960. MPP by home and everywhere.
To almost resisting the oppressor's rule.
Yes.
NMA.
You resist the oppressor's rule with oppression. You resist the rule of the oppressor with oppression. You could have even ignited a referendum for Ghanaians to say CPP bill. Why do you do a bloody coup? That's opened the door for coups in this country.
Yes.
Do you get me? Because then every military person thought that possible say me coup. You might not like Nkrumah. No matter what you do, he was the man of the millennium. They didn't call JB Dankwa, neither did they call Buzia. See, they say Yamanko His Excellency Mahama Award as the 5th most powerful person. Is it the same thing?
And your 5th most powerful.
I can't say. Whatever it is, Yaman Award, Yasaman Kwame Nkrumah Award for excellence in leadership. So I am telling you that you don't use violence.
Violence, okay.
No matter what it is, you don't use violence. You have to change and look at whatever constitution you have, whatever legal document you have that you can use. You don't use violence to the extent that no matter what it is, Kwame Nkrumah gave us freedom. Because Obishe, so we took Kwame free Ghana, now to me what freedom means. Go to the SADC countries. Those of them are warm after independence, no more so a year under some apartheid regime. And it will tell you what it means. Look at the Americans in the black Americans in the USA. It tells you what slavery, what subjugation can do to you. So for nothing at all, Kwame Nkrumah stood up and said that he is giving us independence today. When the UP tradition under the UGCC said that independence must wait. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So he stood and gave us independence. He didn't do it alone. He did it with his colleagues, his comrades. Under the CPP, the Convention People's Party. Sometimes it is sad that today we see the CPP in the state in which it is, because the history and the foundation of the CPP is so formidable that we should be able to leverage on it.
Until you are getting emotional at this
I'm not getting emotional.
Obi, ask Nanaya whether Bedema and co, who were Nkrumah's own ministers, he jailed some of them and some of them went into exile. Were they also part of the UP tradition?
But
Preventive Detention Act and one-party state policies were dictatorial and put Nkrumah in a bad light. Ghanaians jubilated when Nkrumah was overthrown So she should be truthful to the fact. Junior,
I am telling you that this I am a CPP daughter.
Oh, sure.
Those people went into exile when there was a coup. Bedema didn't go into exile when Nkrumah was alive.
Oh, are you sure?
No, he went with him. Do you get me? Some people went with him to Guinea. Some people visited him and stayed with him in Guinea. Why should Bedema of all people say there were rumors? Say Bedema ye ne bone kakra. These were rumors. They were not substantiated.
Yes.
Do you get me? But Bedema did not go to jail. We should take our time and look. You see, ni share the issues surrounding PDA. Let's take our time, because you see, you before now,
but would there be a justification for PDA?
Yes,
there is.
And
you don't think there's a justification for the coup?
No, look, my dear, I'm telling you something. What did the coup do? Eventually, another coup came. After how many months of Buzia being in power, another coup came. Achambon. So what did the coup cure? What did the coup cure? Do you get me? Okay. Another coup till Rollins about democracy. Sure. You decide they say you hear coup bio. Yati democracy say who behave with say UP for the MPP for the better betia. So I don't think, and I've told you, if you are called Judas and you want to change your name because of the history of Judas, and if you are called Zacchaeus and you want to change your name, there's nothing wrong with it. The name will have to be changed. What will be put there is what it is. See, see that one is from Penyinfono to decide. But
minister say parliament, they are crying international.
Fine, it is okay. Ebinum can say, oh, who called that Washington? There's Washington, Dallas. Ebinum say, airport be a dear to Crony. But to call Washington, Dallas, there's also big
a city. The name now Ebimu proposing Ghana International Airport. Then I can say there is no example of a whole country.
Yes.
There are two airports. Yes. So, but for the city, Manchester Airport,
Heathrow Airport, Gatwick.
Yes. City needing.
Yes. So if that is what they want to do, it is fine. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah. But I won't say, Koto Council free crew bisu Ghana how the Chrome for Ninswe Japan.
And the info before from Rani and Fantos way. Hobby for free chrome or prominent almost feel say and let's dialogue, let's have a small stakeholder conversation around it. So by all means they have people who are prominent in there. So if they feel say that is what it is, let's have a conversation around it. And let's see. The gas state to say airport needs to almost so into almost so almost pay. Because almost so this is all conversation that we should have.
Yes, a kotokadi there was say Mate. Nana ya chempem jantwa. Dr. Okoboy, on this particular issue, what do you say,
you see, Ghana for be brave eto abama NDC abanwe. Oshia omo 100. Now be 100. Ni say omo in omo 2 abama NDC because of the Kotokana airport. One out of the 100, only one. Obi.
Yes.
This changing names in Amano, a nostalgic leftist.
Obi omo one man change it. Them person me 1 second. Your man changes into omo dey nostalgic. A nostalgic leftist. One man change it do baby kwa no the University of Ghana ba be JB Dankwa. Eno me patcho en fama mo fe no hunu na me. En fe no hunu. Them person me hu say eno no na enye nostalgic. JB Dankwa na nko dey betu Legon no.
Obi,
Doc, yes.
Position here, Dio. There was say, "Oh, Kabia man." Dachi, Obi, me see a idealistic, nostalgic, leftist, philosophical fantasy. Me repeat it. All these things happening, it is only an idealistic, ideals. Just a name of Mujidi. Nostalgic, leftist, philosophical fantasy. Obi sa nkrofo Ghana for ha a omutie ekosi nsen omutie mi nyaba nana ya jeto ne mi se mwahi dey select 100 omutuma jomama omaja ye na to NDC ye to kepri jomama is hope na em so say mu ohai mu ahi na kotokanti bo pese yi di na mutuma mu na obi meni agi kakra odi ne ntia
na be
tumi obi pe tumi na tumi ni duni nsem na ni re start fi no ho a ni am say na ye unity
nyampa
obi na me opposition a ehonye ebi eho aju saa a me mpa ebo se daachi me se papa wa no me hu ne ma se na ma ye din na me si nipa nsua de
na mo ye bi
obi unim nipa nkasa no ye nsua de na ye ho ya homti unim ne da me kasa nyame andom enye 50 years ago ena ye ko si se din e wo Ghana how MPP ya ye fa universities bi si se din esisa din obi ye bill call parliament o e mo si so mo letterhead and then letter in the university here. Oh, why won't men learn history? If it's a distant history and you don't know, you can be forgiven. This history is less than 6-7 years. Obi ye the bill you call parliament say ye kotoka ama ye akra aba na bill awodi koi wo majority nti e na wanya ahode awodi ko na o kire bi wo minority a ye the bill fufu saba ama ya go back to kotoka na politicians pa nti obi too many do say man na re fi ye ho obi look why do we get on say make philosophical because with all due respect your research paper yet make a state your own your friend is saying biases. If you have any interest, state it. Because later you won't say, oh, interest, you know, one state here, or paper, you know, one share, it will lose credibility. Now, my idea, or my sister, or a serious leftist person. Ni papa was leftist. Yes, leftist. Omo Jesus so mine there. Was so be a lawyer ni teacher ni sebi shoemaker. Yen nyina sebi not in terms of nipa but in terms of the ebedi kranya kro. Ya tare e kro. O ye lawyer e betua o 200 Ghana cedis a month instead of maybe our cases now over call not teacher swaji 200 just say but it has been proven over time. Of course I'm a rightist right for the GD say I was say one alarm for no move for one dream and no money innovative or money jumadin and share coin or move me our impacting society our only property obi and also ababia ba no see din e wo no din to Peninu ya leftist, the father of leftism in Ghana. You can't take it away from Nkrumah. It's coming Nkrumah. Na bebre omo to me enemu no omo idol ye Nkrumah o. Me am senior honorable Black Okujetu. O hwe no kan Nkrumah sema wan hwa o kine yo beto Nkrumah tayahye. Unse Okujetu e call the way to is it Guinea? Akọhwe fia na Nkrumah dem ama ye kasa yi am sure say minim say ya wi a ye moves a wan hwa ye be ko innovate. When you know philosophical fine Nkrumah is a tower into that one I sort of I agree Obi but my point is that why do you make changing the name of the airport an issue at this time when power has been given to you less than 12-13 months ago when people gave it to you because they are so much unemployed that they believe in your 24-hour economy which you are yet to present a bill to parliament on. You say it will take a bill. I don't believe it will take a bill and an authority to start a 24-hour. 24-hour economy is a product of serious transformation of the economy. That's my belief. But as we speak, you've not done it. The fact that you are not taking a bill even is an admission that you are now setting the grounds for it. Meanwhile, this never went and confusion mukotobama o my eti say ekufa no shia sebi gay for odomu siridodo. But would you uchi won kra abai we cha wa hwa in fact you go to about wasin you say question na papa no eh obi e call for mo no nipa di ni bi hwe obi say say mo peba kwa ka mo na sa gay no mama fani ni ama obi call 14 months ni Ghana nyina ye din kata na say kufa don say no yen say have to na so Ghana ye din. So the point I'm making is that I remember whether in Nkrumah Sebio or right say tunu. My point is that Dina oko sisano nipa na eko to abama ono enu ne be mo Sebio mo kuma to mo yem ana ye kwa satisfy mu nkrofo mo gidi say ye de ye gi Nkrumah di enti sedi tumi e de ma wono afi na wodi ba be di sebi u beliefs nwa na sebi mi ka say tumi de e kan edu nipa nsem na no tono a ne suban timi sisa na ya ye opposition de me de mini agi because who say Bible start here na ma we bi say nema ti say we pe chese ni timu ya ye ni de obi di o ko say edi sebi edi ska asembeba obi wo say onko tua ska wo international say wo say di systems IT systems o say some changes ni editorials ni upgrades ni ama ni nyina ye ka we at this our time asebi o fa chemi aye ka say o public workers a omo bo puru say engage yen o workers to say tewu ni TUC ni am ka say yesikai say behwe you have a lot of challenges so it can only be idealistic now the me yama omo ni say why do we keep on going in circles obi if after 15-20 years nyamia dom say in 2028 Dr. Bamia back anytime we get a majority in parliament Dr. Koboy me I'm not really interested in such idealistic philosophical nyama emfa for so bi maganani but ye won krofo me tradition mu a o meka say ye majority dey for bill bra na ye mfi akra enko pie kotoka for how long would we do this and obi let me just say something short here say if we are honest to ourselves some of the back and forth ebejai whether you like it or not you can never succeed by creating the impression say Nkrumah with all his strengths say one prank of Nkrumah. Why do we do this to ourselves? It doesn't mean say Nkrumah is evil. Yesu Christo pe ena boni bia ni no hu because onu do enyankopo preko pe na ye nkofo refi obia ni wiase ye wu na be man ni oba nhia che Yesu obi are you get what I'm saying? So apart from Christ every human being you can find people on who are sabi atochima na ya papa David na Yesu po omo refer no say thou son of David na David na ye boni dinu obi nyame ndi no ho agro not because na boni ni no ho our strength be nyame sure see this is a man after my heart and Nkrumah had his negatives obi only she cry no e ban say don't call who was sell. He wrote letters say, even if you have differences with me, I am in difficulty. I might die here. He died in cell. Obi. Now on him, this world is a spiritual planet. That me reading history. I mean when say now Nkrumah was begging, say, let me come here. I'm sick and die. And I mean when say the world is a complex place. Long story short, Nkrumah had his strengths, but there were families that were in tight corner. The overthrow of Nkrumah brought them liberation. And those families will continue to make Kotoka a hero till all of them, their generations leave this country. In the same way, those are Nkrumah impact on our lives, including Ghana, built some of these Akosomo Dam, led the African struggle. When you see that they are praising Nkrumah, you can't take it away from it. In fact, when I was in tech, my favorite t-shirts are custom made t-shirts with Nkrumah's face on it. He's someone I admire for his strengths, but it doesn't make him Christ in quote. He has his flaws, and we should move beyond this. Now be Nkrumah who CBP how many years down the line? The challenges of today, in fact, forgive me, most of Nkrumah's theories, if you even come and apply some of them today, you will know it will not work.
It is never true, then you don't know.
Obi, look, the how do you call it? Obi, leftist ideals have been tested through both theory and practice and shown to have saturation points where they don't bring any other thing. And that creative distraction through capitalism and innovation is that's why the United States of America is the biggest economy in the world. Obi, and also just they don't have challenges. So the point I make it look, Dentina and the NDC, Fortis and Nkrumah start here at home, baby, Dentia. Omo muso mu don Nkrumah chebia e ba ni say na Fortis and Nkrumah start here, NDC na toy. Omo toy because when they started dealing with the Bretton Woods institution, it became clear that most of those factories they were burden on the state. They were not economically what viable. Obi, economic scores no mayebi akabiso ameyemi, but viability say who output everything else sustain. Most of them were not. But Nkrumah meant well. It didn't mean say one many well. But when you study economics, sometimes some things work for some time, and based on certain factors, they do what? They collapse. You have to be humble to accept this. Now, a be a Ghana edri, nurses, ya show on boss, automatic admission. Allied health nurses. Omu tell you, allied health workers. Obi phone line say allied health phone free. One show you never jolly was studio. Nipo pay juma ni abri. And now Ghana why transport minister ba spare parts dealers ni trotro drivers car call workshop this one bringing it back because parts no shusha enya ma no. Now paper call parliament. Ko debate. Obi debate we see o bill ba pass it through stages. Stage 1 introduction, Ebeko committee name aba consideration. Now from consideration, I got test final reading. Yeah, come when I will be Ghana in the parliament debate. I will take over. Nina listen kotoka kwa na oba. Hey, Obi. Now to me do say my referee say is Obi. Now sebio anka LGBT pona president Omedi ko parliament. Debater. Anka so for ni Christopher we can say we there. Ye di unkomo intima sire obi na etiye emaden ebi wa ma me beno obi wa ma atiye ema refi wa ma me beno nyina piepie because nipa sesia nipa nan say you see 24-hour economy or chese no be create ejuma or formula 133 nipa wey akodru kotoka say din unhihye na oye obi kotoka me nimnu. But all I can say is that Obi, there are times now only the air time President John Dramani Mahama about first time. Then to one sister Kotokadi. Time John Mills from may so rest in peace. Then to one even Jerry John Wallace. You know I'm asking all this because most of them are leftist people.
Sure.
So abaye topical because some fanciful discussions. And it's not President America. Who's a party the uncomfortable doors. No be akasa din we kro yeden yen sisa no say nyama consequences no school no be me organizing schools say
Bema camp or
say u free airport
primary school
u free airport o say o message dem na umbra Bema camp because ntimi yi kotoka airport enja kotoka Bema camp one show obeduru omu village nso no started we o say ongo yi na akwanto we eno na Ghana for small Obi
Dr. Bernard Okoboy, Yemre Ason, Nanaya, my nurse, say, you're really
Son of the open
6:30. I was say upon.
And did they be upon 7 now? They say me, you know, back, you know, and Sunday.
Makes Mamma see me, no,
Miss Anson. Your friend is saying, Okoboy can't be or can't your friend is saying 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy should at least His Excellency Mahama. That is why there should be law back in it.
Okay.
It should not just be a rhetoric in a book. That is a manifesto. As you see, a yiba bonting na a emra.
Okay.
Number 2, software 24-hour economy. The ebema yenya input into a pilot into which areas now ya start here jumana. It is making us learn lessons. Se send a beko. Ultimately,
okay.
Na ye dia tumrem. Sort the mention into there others are almutimi young aye adwuma so ku ayi tie nyina ye nim Ghana publishing DVL womu nyina and even more some restaurants are even doing 24-hour economy omu ye adwuma anajo. So these are all lessons say aban learn ekomrem near legislative. And the last one, I don't know why Oko is talking like this.
Oh, what are you?
Say yes he said din enka manifesto hwe government over power and yet they work on manifesto munkwa na you o ye de amount for so pay o ye de o sha ehia. This has got nothing to do with the leftist tradition or right tradition. The leftist tradition is the best mo ba ya musimo ye right if we dey na mo ye de da bonten ye nya aduane ni DDP ye ya yesika kra mo be gifai inti rightist na ye no. The leftist tradition is one of the best. Nipa. Edi ye friend is impuntu oba but impuntu a eboa ama nipa eho atono. Oti de meche yo. Omo yom hihye quote ni ade de bia na o ma hye quote. Omo nwene the next person a wo ho no ho. Me pacho to bo me ba. Ene pe na mhye bi na mko baabi. Baabi a me kɔ na mo ho. Na ye friend is saying se wo ka kotoka se me I've been in places amanfo fra manone ba wo mutimi busa me say what is the history of your airport? Why have we named it after this person? Ghana, the world has become a global village. To say they may be so busy, I didn't know you free Washington, Dallas. And as maybe so busy, I didn't free BWI, Baltimore, Washington International. And I didn't free Heathrow, Gatwick. What you say? And I said in Netherlands for D. I didn't skip all. I will ask. Is he a baby busa ye dear? Yes, I didn't know friend kotoka
or a soldier.
O soldier no ye then. And a soldier for baby better than yam for by you now too. It's yeah fair. There's a ten for review and kruma, respecting kruma. Or ye a man of the millennium even against Nelson Mandela. Now so you two no de who chromo review no. Obio ye ni fra dears who chromo review no. Ni power ma independence ma within opa power too with you bunenimtia or cast some chona with the crampa womanenimtia. It is a nempo kwase Kwame Nkrumah eye bibia. Necessary nam de na more justify no woman. 182 no beba form no man who say ni wi asiti. O ya hwe dan kwa asem na de bia mo de to Kwame Nkrumah so me pese me kasa. Bi papa ke history bi che me ase me bie ma no a Ghana be hye. Ena me ka no. Because me papa no ne Kwame Nkrumah ne nam. Nkomo a wonne Ghana me ka no nkomo a yes nkomo a Kwame Nkrumah ni die concerning JB Dankwa. Sana make a chirawo. Inti ni de bi omo sori amo de bo Kwame Nkrumah so bo se ono na chi JB Dankwa na JB Dankwa ya na hwan. Me pese me kasa.
Nana ya chempem
yes, me Nkrumah me papa ye CPP ni one Kwame Nkrumah na nante. He told me the story. Nkrumah told him at the Flagstaff House in front of his own residence. No kuja ne kwan.